Hi, welcome to Forex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, March 9th, 2010. This morning we're talking about risky business and what makes the market go from one day, feeling pretty euphoric and moving forward to the next day, being pretty fearful and, running to risk aversion. And it's, it seems kind of strange and odd to outsiders who aren't familiar with the currency markets that this occurs basically on a daily basis. But, what happens is that the markets, if you think about them, you can think about it in terms of crowd psychology, and that as somebody advances, they want to kind of see everybody else advance with them, and not everybody. If everybody goes, then all of a sudden they get fearful that there's a reason everybody hasn't gone, so they go back. So you see this a lot with the crowd psychology. So when I came in this morning, it looked like the flavor of the day was going to be risk aversion, but now that we're looking at the market and what's happened, here it is 10 a.m. roughly. We're seeing that we're actually risk aversion is abating, and that we're moving a little bit more towards risk-taking. So, some of the things I had heard this morning about, why we were in a risk aversion sort of mood was, Greece. You hear always about Greece, lower stock earnings, U.S. healthcare legislation, the push for Chinese yuan appreciation, and elections in the U.K. So one of the things is that, sometimes, when you're searching for these answers, they're not always apparent, and that you're just better off trading what you see. So let's take a look at the markets this morning. We're going to first look at the Aussie. Aussie actually started out quite a bit lower this morning. If you want to look at it, we can look at it in 5-minute chart real quick. And as you can see, it was trading around here, and then boom, just a nice up move since it happened. And if we look at it back on the daily chart, you see that it's working in a nice uptrend. The Aussie, they had their business conference figures come out, and they were pretty good. So there's speculation in the market that they're going to raise rates again next month. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Next thing we want to take a look at is I want to look at the euro. Let's take a look at euro USD. Yesterday, euro topped out at around 137.05. Today, we're just under, where are we right now? We're at about 135.8. So it looks like we're going to trade in a tight range here as you hear more and more news come out about the Greece deal. What's happening. They're talking about regulating credit default swaps, setting up a lender of last resort. There's a lot going on right there, over there now. So you see a lot of uncertainty. You see a lot of sideways action, and it's going to move back and forth based on what the most recent news is. Next, we're looking at the pound. Pound is lower. We're actually under the 150 threshold here to USD. There was a report out that housing prices in the UK have slowed a bit, and they're not expanding as quick as people had hoped. So we're seeing that the housing market may potentially be due for a slowdown. Now, this comes ahead of tomorrow's UK GDP estimates, which could then go ahead and set the tone for UK interest rate policy going forward. So right now, pound dollar looks like it's in a nice little downtrend here. We could see it retest this 148 levels, which was recent low, and if it can break through that, then we could see lower prices for some time. And the last thing I want to talk about this morning is the Japanese yen. Let's take a quick look here. Now, what's happening over in Japan is that when I came in this morning, you saw yen strength across the board, and everybody automatically thinks to themselves, "Oh, risk aversion." So something's going on in the market. Japanese yen's up, so it's got to be people running from risk. Well, that's not necessarily always the case. The Japanese fiscal year is over in April, and what you're seeing is a lot of companies, Japanese companies, are trying to repatriate their profits from abroad. So think about it. If they sell their goods in different currencies, say in euro or pound, Canadian dollar, what have you, they want to bring those profits back to Japan. That means that there's a demand for yen. So as they're buying yen, they're creating yen strength, and that's what you're seeing. So sometimes people say, "Oh my God, Japanese yen strength, risk aversion, let's run for the hills," and you see setups like this happen. So you need to be careful with playing these risk themes and what's going on, because because a lot of times, these currencies can trade individually and outside of what people tend to think of when it comes to risk. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see the U.S. stock market higher today. I don't know if it's enough to flip commodities, but we could see dollar strength go to weakness. So good trade in all today. As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.